Good morning everybody and welcome into another video on my channel where today we're not just taking a look at this but my entire classic space collection including the Redox and modern stuff, and we're going to be putting it all together into a space-based layout, combining and tributing sets from the 70s. You can see I've got a lot of the old white and red spacemen back here, all the way up to of course the modern rainbow colours as well. But I thought we'd start off by showing you the cast of characters we have to put into our space base today, and then we'll get on to the vehicles as we go through. And of course I would be remiss to mention my Ice Planet collection, which if you haven't checked out the original video on this, you can see now that we have it all on a white base plate. Again, I don't like putting figures on base plates like this, but all together to show off as well. But let's start with the classic lot and bring them back in. So as I mentioned, this collection spans a fair few decades because I'm lucky enough to have some of the original stuff that came from my family and previous people that have owned it, all the way of course up to various CMF figures like the Series 19 Hunter here, or Bounty Hunter, which is very clearly blacktron 1 affiliated. And then of course all the Redux stuff, which includes the new classic spaceman colors and the new blacktron cruiser, as well as the Renegade, and then of course the remake of Galaxy Explorer as well. And we also have some CMFs here from Series 26, and of course the Ice Planet ones off to the side. So it's a nice collection. I have the robots here in my hand. So this is the robot from the blacktron cruiser gift with purchase in 2023, as well as the one from Benny's Space Squad. And I'm going to put these off to the side purely because I don't think they're going to stand up, because everything else is attached to this retro road plate. And then as for other robots, we have the one from the Renegade remake and then the one from the Galaxy Explorer remake. Right behind them is the mutated Blacktron and the Memtron Redux, as I'm calling it, or the Power Lifter I should say, from Series 26 in space. Over the other side, we have a very small faction, and that being Blacktron 1, led up here of course by the Bounty Hunter, and with one classic figure. You'll notice because there's no back print, that's how we can tell that this is one of the originals. And then the 4 here again from the Cruiser promo, and then of course the 3 from the Renegade right back there, making a total of 4. Before we get these guys on a base though, it's important to look at our main base habitant, which of course is this lineup of classic spacemen at the back. The back 2 rows are made up of the white and reds, most of which are classic, excluding I think it's 3 whites over here, all of which come again from the Galaxy Explorer and then Benny's Space Squad. And then here are the reds again, with these 2 back here being the ones in the Galaxy Explorer. Up in front I have every single colour. I have of course the gold and teal from the new prize machine, the dark blue and light blue, which aren't quite finished yet because we're still waiting on parts. I've got dark blue parts on the way very soon. We've got pink from Benny's Space Squad along with 4 of the babies. The reason I have so many babies I'll explain in a second, as well as of course Benny and another blue with the blue space baby, green from the exosuit, brown from the minifigure series who of course came with the blue, orange from the book, and purple pieced together over time. And then of course a classic yellow and a real yellow here, completing out my rainbow. And I'm really pleased that we have so many to populate the base. I think it's going to look really colourful when we get into that. But no need to focus on these guys for too long. Let me slide them out of the way and slide the other plate in. As I mentioned, this is my Ice Planet Trooper collection. I refuse to call it an army because they are, at the end of the day, scientists. There is over 30 of them here on the base plate, most of which are standard figures, which you can see at the back there. However, we have got some other units and characters. Specifically, we have what we've labelled the Maku unit, which is a Spyros robot medical droid, as well as the Brute Force bots, or BFBs, that have the open Spyros heads done for outer mining. And again, if you want the naming conventions and lore behind all of these, do check out the previous video that we did on the collection. Of course, a whole armada of penguins up front. We have got some new characters which I wanted to show you if you guys are following along with the Ice Planet stuff. I will be doing actual ships and proper builds for these guys eventually. The reason I have so many is to do mocks and so on. And actually, there's the reason I have so many space babies, is I actually used the robot nurse from Series 26's parts to do the under armor for these bots as well. So that explains that one. Here is one of our new characters. This is a new robot. I imagine that this one has its energy chainsaw in the eye specifically. So I got this really cool Ninjago head, and it looks a little menacing for me to base the main design on it. I wanted the more friendly Spyros one, but I like to think that this is potentially a new type of class that's coming through that maybe is dangerous. It's got the battery around my neck. It's still using the robot torso and the dark blue arms. I may make some further modifications, maybe changing out the arms to a gunmetal grey or something at some point just to rebalance this. And I may also look for a helmet, although I don't want anything too covering up, because I want this eye to be visible. But you can imagine that it just sort of leans down and goes and lasers the ground here. So potentially a robot to go rogue, but definitely a new class of robot to add to the collection, which is a very different shade and definitely stands out if Serena wasn't here with her shovel in the way. Mentioning, of course, our sort of more human characters. I mentioned we have Serena here with her shovel, and then we've got the other ones as well, where we have Dr. Aaron, I think it was, and Xander here as well to complete our trio. But you can see I picked up a new one, so we actually have 2 new figures for me to name and give lore to at some point in the future, as well as no new heavy troopers. We still have Zen, Aaron, Araxes and Ryan all here in their heavy suits, as well as, of course, Peterson and our leader, Kyra Kelvin, who is, of course, the granddaughter of one of the original Ice Planet lot. But we do also have 3 brand new indoor characters here to take a look at as well. Again, none of these have been named yet. I'll do that for the next Ice Planet update. But as far as a mini update goes, yeah, we've got a couple of new troopers around the back, and these guys as well. And then my favorite new addition, which I did nearly forget about, how could I, is these 2 here. These are our pilots. At the moment, they've got short energy sword and a blaster or heater gun, but you can see here they are using some Star Wars torsos. These are really hard to get hold of from the Republic E-Wing, I want to say, versus Shin-Hati's Starfighter. And I got 2 of them here. So these are going to be our pilots of the vehicles that are upcoming. And I wanted to make sure I had these before I actually started work on the vehicles. So hopefully at some point in 2026, feels like a long way away, we'll actually get some vehicles together for these. But enough of talking about figures. Sorry that the Ice Planet update is so brief after over 8 months of waiting, but let's start posing some of these characters around all my space vehicles, which I can't wait to show you. Well, I did it. It's messy and far too small, but we ran out of grey base plates, and I already don't love the transition from old grey to new grey. Don't mind it between 2 spaceships, but on base plates, luckily you can't see it, so it's no problem. So I actually missed 2 bits in the minifigure overview, specifically this 2001 Life on Mars polybag here, which comes with one of the fantastic little aliens, and definitely doesn't fit in here with the classic spaceman blacktron, which of course are the same era, but I did want to include it as it was still technically retro space. And then also this UFO set, which I think is absolutely fantastic as well. Another really cool figure, and you'll notice that some of them are indeed flying. We've got our transparent rods out. I actually stole these. If you're fans of the channel, you know Colgera. These are Colgera's transparent rods, and these are my ones from the Avatar set, not VCAD, the other ones are from Pab. But yeah, this is every retro space set that I have out on a layout. We're going to walk through it and see if you can spot all the colours as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to point them out. I should say there is one notable absence, and that is the pre-minifigures space set. If I did a full retro collection, but it is one that is not with minifigures, so I didn't want it on here. Plus, this is well crowded enough. So the main focus here is, of course, the Galaxy Explorer, believe it or not, is sat on the landing pad that 497 originally came with. And then we have the Renegade, so both of these are the remakes. Flying above, we then have the original 497 Galaxy Explorer, or I should say 928, because I'm in the UK. And then down below, we have a couple of retro sets, and then, of course, the vehicles. So let's pick a point and start from there. Let's start with the command base here. This came with the original Galaxy Explorer. We've got the city space sort of admiral in here, who's just sort of watching and overseeing the general goings on. We've got the white spacemen here, who are generally in the role of science. They're usually operating either scientific vehicles, so driving, or they're out in the field. In fact, you can see one under there. Let me go around to get a better look. Who was doing some research and then came across this mutated blacktron who murdered him. And the reason we did this is because he was missing a helmet. I have one spaceman that's missing a helmet, and he's got a scratched out face from the retro days. Around the back is the digger here, who's looking for some moon rocks, which you can just about see in that cave. And then round the back, we've got a little scene where Benny and Lenny are dealing with all the space babies. And we've got 1 blue and 4 pink from all of my Ice Planet missions. Another vehicle heading out to do some science mission. And then just above them, we have the small flying craft from Benny's Space Squad being piloted by a Red. And because I have so many Reds, I generally speaking made Reds the pirates, although they are technically in engineering roles, such as the one here on the big Galaxy Explorer's wing. Inside the Galaxy Explorer then, we've got a robot coming over to give coffee to our pilots. We've got a science officer, the pilot in red, and then a blue and a yellow who I've been given specific roles to. Round the back is another white sleeping, and then there is another red doing more engineering kind of communication tasks. Another white out here on the sort of seismometer, doing like the survey around the landing pad, or maybe it's a cleaning device. And then just down in front of that, we have purple here, my one purple classic spaceman, over on the rover that comes in 5 and 7. I want an extra vehicle out, and that is coming out to meet with our delegate team. I decided that teal are the ones that take new arrivals around. So you've got one here coming over to welcome blacktron because they don't know they're evil yet. And then another one here bringing in our ice planet trooper, just our one representative, as if they've come in from off-world. As for the Renegade, this is my first time having the Renegade and the Galaxy Explorer together. It's not my first time having the Renegade and the Cruiser together because I did lights on them, but Renegade and Galaxy first time. It's also my first time with the old Galaxy and the new Galaxy as well. So it's really cool to see these together. It's a shame it's under such cramped circumstances, but we have 2 blacktrons here in the sort of cockpit. We've got a brown spaceman walking back there. There are 2 more blacktrons over in the 2 wings. We've got gold here, who I guess are landing crew, resupplying one of the energy cells that are coming in here. And then underneath we have the blacktron sort of robot, and then the other guy who is manning the guns on the deployable trunk. And yeah, I guess these guys have made peace temporarily, but oh, I love the color scheme. It's so good. Originally, I also was with people and said there was too much yellow, but the more I look at it, the more I kind of think I like it. Here's the remake of the Invader, who has the bounty hunter in the cockpit, which is really cool. And then there's one more robot inspecting the landing gear down here as well. Let's move over to the left side. Using this landing plate, you can imagine that either the Galaxy Explorer is just taken off or is just preparing to land, but there is still busy traffic going underneath. So for one, we have the mobile research base truck that is driving off with, again, a red pilot. We've got a white scientist here on a truck. We've got green, who's just walking down to do whatever his job is. There is that dignitary truck, which is from Benny Space Squad, which I mentioned, bringing in our ice planet trooper. And here is the exploration vehicle being driven by a white scientist, who is coming and doing a turnaround and will head around the back to the base. But again, just imagine the Galaxy Explorer wasn't so big. There's another small retrocraft here, again, red pilot, and then orange is also just walking. Maybe he came to say goodbye to his friend, the red one here. And then we've got the robot command center, who has the black spaceman, the yellow spaceman at the top, dark blue and white are on this another vehicle, and then red is on the jet ready to be launched. And then just over here is the base part of the mobile research base that has been detached, left behind, and set up as sort of an outpost or a comms tower, and he is being sort of supplied or repowered by the Mtron power lifter figure from Series 26 as well. Micro Galaxy Explorer, which doesn't make any sense, but here it is, and that is the full display. So yeah, it's way too cramped. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's nice to have it all together. It's nice to tinker around with it. Really, it needs more base plates to shine, because I don't even need more retro space. I mean, I would love more of the roadway ones, but I don't even necessarily need more landing pads. But it does look very cool together. I'll leave this up for a couple of days, and it's nice to have the full Spaceman collection. I hope you enjoyed this look at my retro space collection. I am really proud of it, and I think that classic space is a lovely little theme. Obviously slightly overhyped, but a really lovely theme that I do enjoy collecting. And here is to what, another Galaxy Explorer remake in 10 years? Maybe for the 100 years of play? Nah, surely they pick something different. It really is a shame that the Renegade doesn't seem to have sold too well, because it's retiring at the end of this year, meaning this will probably be the end of our classic space sort of revival sets, with the exception, of course, of more coloured spacemen. But I look forward to expanding this over time. I would love to get the Deep Freeze Defender from Ice Planet, obviously. Continue with my Ice Planet mock. You'll notice that none of them are over here. And also get the Cosmic Space Voyager, which is another really, really cool set. Maybe some of the bases as well. We don't really have like a land presence here. Either way, more base plates is necessary to spread this out and make it look good. But I'm pleased with how the minifigures are going. Would always love to pick up more spacemen. Maybe if the teal parts come to bricks and pieces, I'll grab some more of those. But I'm really pleased with how colourful it looks, how all the spacemen interact together, and I guess messy sort of works, even if it's a little messy for my liking. Maybe we'll hang some next time we do this. But thank you for watching, everyone. Let me know your thoughts of Classic Space and, of course, of this collection down below. Let me know which your favourite colour of Spaceman is. That is the comment question of the day, and I will see you guys again very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.